Yes, Suresh. Suresh, good morning and yeah, hi Harshita.
Hi, Akshita.
Okay, we'll continue, Suresh. So, Suresh, yeah, I have gone through your resume, and first, let me introduce about myself. I'm Ravi Kiran Kundi, and I'm working with Savin Technologies, and I'm working for a client called Inudi Technologies. I do have total 7.5 years of experience total into DevOps, and I do have experience in cloud like AWS and GCP. As per the requirement in cloud, I am working currently working with the GCP cloud, and
Right.
having experience with all the DevOps tools and security tools, everything. So that's a small and sweet intro from my side. So may can you please brief about yourself?
You know DevSecOps role, right? You are
Yes, yes.
DevSecOps role, right? Okay. Yes. Let's start. My name is Suresh Raj Vetkuri. I bring over 6.6 years of experience in IT and 5.4 years of DevSecOps and DevOps tools practices. I have been responsible for designing and implementing CI/CD pipeline using GitHub Actions and Jenkins, as well as monitoring infrastructure. I use the Terraform across AWS and Azure cloud platforms. I have hands-on experience in microservices using Docker and Kubernetes orchestration tool like Kubernetes. I have implemented robust security measurements microservice level. My day-to-day responsibilities including provisioning and maintaining cloud environments and troubleshooting issues about entire CI/CD pipeline. This is my brief introduction from my.
Okay. So have you worked in any cloud, sorry, cost optimizations, anything in your project, Suresh? Any
Yeah,
implementations?
the implementation recently I have implementation about I have worked in Dazwan. This is the cloud. This is the completely in world streaming platform, sports streaming platform. I have using a different AWS accounts. Dev
Mm-hmm.
accounts are there. Cost optimization basically we are find out the AWS trusted advisor. We are find out that one what is the requirement, what is that particular mentioned into the trusted advisor, and cost optimizer is there in cost analyzer is there in the AWS account. That's why the tools are using will be different strategies are using to reduce the optimize the resource cost and
Do you know about how this cost optimization work? Any idea how we will calculate all these? Apart from the tools, any manual processes okay, in this way we can calculate. This is for example, I can give you a hint. For example, if there is a service and if that service is utilizing much CPU, is not utilizing much CPU and much memory, right?
yes,
So
exactly,
you have gone through
exactly.
the monitoring tool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So in the similar way,
I
any other
have worked
project?
on RDS. We are advised for some kind of the historical data capture into the much more the memory is not using in the read instance or write instance based of RDS. That time you have reduced the I suggest for the trusted advisor you can manage this reducing this particular cost is reducing the particular figure is reducing that time is reducing this is the relation from the there is no use of day one stage enrollments that time you have report is sending to the consult teams can handle that particular things. That's why you have advised the particular activities in cost optimization.
Okay. Do you know any migration strategies, like any cloud migration or from your on-premise to cloud migration? Have you
I am
worked
not
anything
working
anytime?
in that side, not migration about projects. We are entirely cloud-based infrastructure, newly built infra in Dezon. Any issue?
But any idea how many types of migrations will be there? Any small like
Actually, we have find AWS direct connect and VPN based of any other on-premises databases or any on-premises instance are there in outside. We are migrated into AWS some kind of resources, some kind of AWS side, AWS side, we have some kind of resources up there, some kind of futures are enabling into the AWS. Direct connect, we have some particular migration future is in AWS, and we can go through that. I am not a practical experience, but we have kind of idea about that side also.
Okay. Have you heard about refactoring? This is a migration strategy. So what you inform now, like the audience, like it is in on premise, right? So you migrated. What you have done, like it is migrated to AWS cloud, right? So there is a strategy called refactoring. Many strategies: refactoring, replatforming, lift and shift, everything.
Yeah, I
So
am
in
idea.
this one,
I am heard about lift and shift. That is the thing. Yeah, sure. Please tell me.
okay. So what is lift and shift? Any idea? Lift and shift migration strategy?
Basically, I'm heard about, but I'm not practically implemented. That is the thing. I'm theoretically aware about this. That is the activity.
Oh, okay. Nothing. So if you have an application in on-premise,
Yeah.
then there is no change in your code, and you just change it the completely. Like for example, if you have an application that is deployed in on-premise and you
Yeah.
deployed the same in the cloud, okay, you haven't changed anything and no change in the code, so you just copy paste from there and here, right? So that's lift
Yes.
and shift. No change in
No
the
change.
code
There is
base.
no
Yeah.
change happening. Is the on-premises to cloud. Yeah, exact same replica is copied to cloud environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how you are managing your infrastructure in your organization? I mean, infrastructure as code or manually, or what tools you are using?
I'm
Or Terraform?
working on IAC infrastructure as a code like Terraform. We are deploying and
Mm-hmm.
using into infrastructure into through Terraform in AWS and Azure.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you created any resources on your own, like created, written any Terraform files, or you consumed it from anywhere? So how the approach is?
the both are both things. We have some kind of to new resource, new services and microservices launching new features. End users are requesting from that one. Any future
Mm-hmm.
developing, and that time you scratch to build something. The microservice basically write the code and the Terraform scripts and the Terraform side HashiCorp. What are the resources are needed? What
One doubt for me.
Yeah.
You informed if there is a requirement of microservices. I think the microservices level there is no Terraform files required, right? For infrastructure, you will write some
Yes,
Terraform code, right?
exactly,
So,
exactly.
uh,
I am talking about the service side. I am talking into the scratch to build in any service in the microservices and user. We have building before infrastructure is there. After microservices deploy into the application, right? These are the 2 points
so
clumsy to I am
okay.
talking about.
Okay, then what resources you have created recently? Anything like a VM storage buckets, clusters, or anything? What you created through Terraform recently?
I have created a maintenance of ECS and Lambda functions. These are
Mm-hmm.
the creation of things. S3 bucket, NoSQL database, DynamoDB tables.
Mm-hmm.
These are the infrastructure we have deploying to that regularly. Any
Have you heard about any drift issues in Terraform? What are Terraform drift issues?
uh, drift issues basically have running into any kind of blueprint of plan, any duplication about backend of variables, and what kind of variables you have to verification that part of time, and after you have blueprint of plan, the resources have any kind of requirement is there, that time we have find out the drift issues, I think can mention that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, for example, you have two Terraform states files, okay, which is stored in your Azure bucket or in AWS bucket or in any one of the storage bucket, okay.
Okay.
You cloned it into your local, okay. You copied the same state file which is in the bucket to your local, okay. then you need to find out what resources are created through the state file, through the state file. Okay, it is in your local. So you open your terminal when on the location where the state file is existing. Okay, so what command do you execute to file what the resources created through that particular state file? What command you will execute through Terraform to find the resources list?
We have, first of all, you can any kind of resources into the local machine you are talking about, right? That is the Terraform import command that is already
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about import command. Just you have one state
Terraform
file,
state
okay,
list.
already written state list. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So, you know about the Terraform life cycle. What exactly Terraform life cycle is?
Uh,
I'm not asking about Terraform life cycle block. Just theoretically, what is Terraform life cycle?
Terraform lifecycle is basically first thing is initialization of the backend of the configuration. You can require the using the cloud provider. After that,
Mm-hmm.
we have to initializing init command, Terraform init command using. After that, we have to write the scripts and everything, manage about the modules and file structure is based on the your deployment of provisioning in the your required AWS or Azure cloud. That time you have a kind of Terraform plan to run the blueprint of the thing. What is the happening is there, and after apply before processing the Terraform plan command. After you
Mm-hmm.
can Terraform blueprint is there, everything is okay. You can find out the Terraform apply command to deploy the infrastructure in the real world of cloud
Mm-hmm.
platforms. That is the thing
Oh,
to life cycle of the Terraform side.
okay. Okay. So, for example, you have an application. Okay, you developed that application and you deployed that same application into any Kubernetes platform in any cloud. Okay, whether it is EKS in AWS, GK in Google, or in Azure Kubernetes engine. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you have written the complete Kubernetes manifest files, and you have done everything from DevOps perspective. Okay. So the domain name is suresh.com. Okay, for example. So once if an end user hits suresh.com, okay, what happens under the hood? So can you explain me the flow, like how the request flows from the end user to our engine, how the request will transfers everything.
This is the basically first step you have deploy into the application API into the some Kubernetes cluster. Based on I am take up to the Kubernetes cluster. The different I have deploy into the pod in Kubernetes cluster. For example, Nginx. The Nginx pod is running into that the pod is the end user how it is accessed, right? Your question is right. The in between
I
the
mean the how the
end
request
user,
flows. I'm just
yeah,
asking the
request
flow
flows,
flow.
right, right. The request flows is different ways. We have find out the load balancer, you have find out the node port, we have find out the particular domain name service ingress ways, different services running into the inside of the Kubernetes cluster. That's why you have capturing into the you are require your what are the things you have find out that is the dynamic or static web pages based on the request flow through outside of the end user. That is the thing you have configuration about in between service and end user.
Okay. I in resume you have mentioned like okay, coming to DevSecOps now. So
Yes.
security wise, you used Snyk, right? So
Yeah.
Snyk is okay. So in Snyk, I think not only the scanning of the source code in the repositories, but I think in Snyk there is a feature of scanning the cloud resources even, right? To check the
These
vulnerabilities.
basically the code side vulnerability issues are already. It is the development side that is the thing you have aware about. I am mentioned into that one.
So So, then how coming to security wise, how you are handling only scanning the source code, or you are not scanning any like when the resources are deployed into any of the VMs, like scanning the storage buckets directly which are into the cloud resources. Those vulnerabilities you are not finding, like coming to security point of view.
I have security point of view. Find out the we have a scanning of the document we using. These are the things we have find out the vulnerability issues about the microservice level before identification of the Docker file scanning. That's why we
Mm-hmm.
can rectify about things. We'll deploy the best SDLC. The software development is the best practices to do some kind of thing.
Then what is the difference between SAST and DAST scanning? Any difference? Like, can you explain me SAST and DAST?
SaaS means it is the code quality backend of Sonar Cube quality gets checks wise SaaS scanning is the best suitable for that one. DAST is the vulnerability prevention OW SAP 10 vulnerability issues are mentioned into that guidelines. You have find out the particular backend of dependency code and kind of developers developed by different dependencies happening is there will be connected to the application. That's why this is the DAST is using for the application side of the reports are generated in this process. That is the thing I
So,
uh,
okay. So, you worked about anything about, about the networking part,
we are asking about any networking.
networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is meant by NAT gateway? Why we use NAT gateway?
NAT gateway is the gateway is flow through private instance, private subnets. We are accessing inside of the DBs or any kind of private instances or then the private subnet to directly hosted into the public subnet in the NAT gateway to connect with access in the outside of the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in Kubernetes, there is a component called a core DNS or kube DNS. So do you know about that? Why it is useful? What exactly it will do? Core DNS or kube DNS? Anything?
DN is nothing but a domain name services. We have find out the core DNS is based on the Kubernetes side of internally developed by that one. KubeDN, it is exposed to the outside the world core DNS. It is
No.
KubeDNS.
DNS, I think DNS, DNS, see, domain name specific external is different. And I'm asking about core DNS or kube DNS, which is internal of Kubernetes.
Okay,
So
okay,
there is a difference. Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So you mentioned scripting wise PowerShell, Python, and Bash, right?
Yeah,
So, for example, if you are writing a shell script,
yeah.
okay, so you want logs inside that shell script, okay, for easy tracking and logging purpose. So, what you will mention in the configuration part to get the logs? So, there will be starting configuration part, right?
In based on shell scripting, right? You are asking.
Yep.
Configuration part means we have
Like for
relay high
example,
50.
uh, if for example in shell script, if I'm fetching one project, then I'll mention like a project underscore ID is equal to the project name, right? In the same way, to get the logs in the configuration part, you'll mention something about the log file also. Then that configuration you'll pass as some dollar log file. Okay, that then it will print every log. Okay, in the log file, then you'll get to know. Okay, this is the wrong. This is the step where it got wrong. Okay, and you'll track. You'll see cat log file, and you'll view the logs every time. Okay, so what exactly you can mention in the log file in the configuration part?
Log files is a some particular what is the things that we have to, so particular five lines of code, a tile command using for the particular 5 lines of code to capture that particular one, cat command to slash mm, dev side slash etc, uh, log files happening there, that is the thing happening.
So, okay. So, coming to command tail-f. So, do you know about what exactly these commands do? Tail-f.
Tail FNF is the particular your requirement, the 50 lines of code, 50 lines of log file is there. You can find out the tail FNF into the particular list of lines captured into that file.
So, what is the difference between logging and tracing? What is the major difference between logging and tracing?
Where you are asking, that is logging and tracing means.
That comes under observability. So, I mean, you have, so when you are using the monitoring, so we know, right? So we will use
Yeah.
metrics, loggings, and traces, right? So coming to traces, I'm just asking the textbook definition at least. So what is the difference?
Traces means, for example, the end user, yeah, it is log into the account, my account section. You can go through the my account section. We have any editing, anything happening is there. Will be what are the activities there? The end user to the customer activity is the my account. What is the activities in back end of the, that is the tracing point to the starting point to ending point you are doing that particular person, that is the trace to
Okay.
that particular thing.
Okay. So you know about Jenkins CI/CD tool.
Yeah, GitHub actions we are
So,
doing right now.
okay.
Jenkins is previously working 2 years back.
Okay. So what is the difference between a declarative pipeline and a scripted pipeline in Jenkins? Any idea? The only the difference.
Our declarative pipeline is used for the YAML format of different stages and steps are there. I am idea about that one. Scripted pipeline is the Groovy wise scripting side. There in the scripted pipeline is designed for that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is meant by 502 error? Any idea? Why we'll get 502 error? So if we get
It's a bad
502
gateway.
error, what steps you'll take?
That is the bad gateway, I think. We
Mm-hmm.
are find out some not respond to the service.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To identify
Yeah, that's it.
at the network.
That's it from my side, Suresh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Suresh. Yeah. I'll share the feedback with Hachita and she'll get back to you. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Suresh. Good day.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye-bye.